What's up, everybody? Mr. Sanders with the Fades and Parlays podcast. Unfortunately, we did not get the help we needed, so this is how we're going to roll. In the first part of our podcast for week 2 for our NFL picks, you will get our picks for the Baltimore Ravens game as they have the Las Vegas Raiders coming into town. Make sure you look at the podcast in order to get our pick. Also, we put in what we have for the Los Angeles Chargers going in to the Carolina Panthers house. We have a double bet in which we think we're going to hit super massive on, and we definitely bet the farm. So make sure you check out the podcast for week 2 of the NFL picks in order to get those picks. Again, from us, from the Fades and Parlays podcast crew, Mr. Wright, Mr. Sanders, and Mr. Grassy Fields, we feel horrible about the situation, but we still want to make sure we get our information out. Now, the other games that we are going to take San Francisco money line, knowing that McCaffrey is out, and all the information that I gave on that game is extremely frustrating. It can't get out. So, San Francisco needs to go into Minnesota. They need to handle their business and destroy those fools like they did to the New York Jets front line, which I still can't get over. And I gave my kudos to the 49ers and the part of the podcast that doesn't seem to want to be posted correctly. Also, we ended up taking the Kansas City Chiefs at home versus the Bengals. The Kansas City Chiefs, money line, baby. Ja'Marr Chase, he talks too much. And he needs to stop talking about how they're the best team in the AFC. Even if they beat the Chiefs, they're still not the best team in the AFC. So we're going to take Kansas City money line. So make sure you do that, because it's going to be a big money line that we're hitting on these games. So good money needs to be put down, but especially when you do to the Chargers. So make sure you do check out the first part of the podcast. Now, here are the other parts that are interesting. And that would be the New York Jets as they go into Tennessee. Look, Aaron Rodgers is slinging that rock. He is. And I mean the football, people. Make sure we get that right. And after seeing what Tennessee ended up collapsing to that defense, knowing that Caleb Williams did squat, I have a hard time believing that the Jets are going to have to go 0-2 in this game. They show up. They got the Patriots on Thursday Night Football, which quite frankly, we might even mess with that game. There could be a lot on the line for that game. Already week 3. We ended up giving out a lot of information. All about what we did for last week, but especially the upcoming week for tomorrow for week 2. So all the information that didn't get out is a tad bit frustrating. So remember, we had the first 2 games in which we had Baltimore and the Chargers, which we have on the first part of the podcast. We also have San Francisco money line, Kansas City money line, and the New York Jets money line. Now, I don't know if I'm going to take the Monday night game or not, but I do know one thing is for sure. I'm taking 2 prop bets. I am going to end up taking Saquon Barkley for a touchdown and Jalen Hurts for a touchdown. That line is sitting at 6.5. Now, just 10 minutes ago, I saw it get down to 6. We might end up taking the Eagles -4. We're going to see how that goes. I'm also debating in a very large way taking Tampa Bay +10 because that line continues to move. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. That's going to be up to you. If you get it, I ended up hitting with them last year. So we'll see. The playoffs are not week 2. So remember to check out our podcast. Again, our sincerest apologies from all of us. We will definitely make sure that we resolve this problem and we don't run into it again. In the meantime, let's hit these games. Let's hit these 2 props. One last note. Next week, week 3, there will be minimum 8 games that we are going to take. Quite possibly, we could take 10. There's 9 I actually like for sure. So as you can see, a lot of games. Week 3 is going to be massively huge. I can't wait to drop it like it's hot. So make sure you check out our podcast. Make sure that you hit these winners and you follow us as we go through, and we'll make sure that we resolve these problems. Again, from all of us, our sincerest apologies. Let's hit these games. Let's make this flawless, and let's go. Fades and Parlays podcast. Make sure you click and subscribe, and we really appreciate your patience throughout the process. Let's go.